All right, going to do a quick trade recap for Thursday, September 25th, 2025. Looking at this pre-market screenshot, price has been weak the past few days and into the overnight session, finally kind of selling off from these all-time highs. Um, so first of all, my first watch was just continued weakness. If price continued to push down, I thought if we could get below this 6658, 6654 level, I thought there was downside in the 6640. And then same type of thing below 6640, I thought there could be downside into the 6620 demand zone. And then if price was to rally at open, I was first watching this like 7580 area to possibly hold and reject and hold this weakness. And then if that was to reclaim, I'd probably be turning bullish and looking for upside moves. So yeah, market sells off at open, gets a nice break of this line of least resistance that we were watching, the 5/8 through 5/4s. We break that low, come up and test our key level, the 5/8s, perfectly. And then on that rejection is where I went ahead and got short. So the confirmation on this is, first of all, this aggressive sell-off at open past the key level. That kind of tells me, hey, this move is starting to set up. Sellers are active. Sellers want to keep pushing this down. Now we wait for a retest. Gets pretty aggressive. Starts to slow down up here. You can see this offer loads in, which acts as a passive seller. Loads in kind of just right below where that one previously was. And then boom, hard selling comes in off of that. I looked away for a brief second and saw price was already down here. I get in. Ideally, I would have gotten in a little bit higher up here, and I did feel like my entry was slightly late with a little bit of a wide stop. I had to risk 5 points on this. But with how aggressive that dump was and the type of move I'm looking for, where it's got a good amount of room to rip down to the next target, I was fine putting risk on there. And I don't know, it could have gotten lucky, could not be, but we just got a straight dump, just straight down into the target. I was looking for first scale out at the 44.25. That was, I believe, my 2R level, and then scaled out another at this target 6640, and then this was taken as a trailing stop. I'll go over that real quick. Nothing really significant on the depth of market. This is where we rejected from this 5/8 level. Just there's deltas here, yes, but it's not very. There's just a lot of outliers. There's not really one outlier. You could say this is kind of a low volume node, but yeah, you could. No, that's not good enough to be a low volume node. But anyways, getting short here, 54.25. 4 lots. Kind of risking a little bit less this past week just because I haven't been trading as much. And the confidence has honestly been a little bit down just because we've been at all-time highs and I haven't been taking trades. So it just helps deal with, or like settle the emotions a bit, to have less size on the table, and you can still make plenty of money. And it further emphasizes the need to have good risk management and good scale outs, because if you start scaling early with less size, you just have even less exposure when the move does finally happen. So first two scales we get out, that's 2R. This one is just a tiny bit early. I market bought out of there. This one was a limit at the 6640 target, and then this one I just kind of slowly trailed down, 34.25. Ended up catching 13.25 points on that, for a nice 2.65 RR multiple. Usually 13 points would get me a little bit more RR, but I was risking 5 points, which is pretty much about my max risk in terms of points, at least with this type of volatility. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow maybe.